Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and the cabins here at Disney's Fort Wilderness. This is Disney's newest Disney Vacation Club property, and that means there's a lot to explore. And one of the things that I had questions about, and I'm sure you might have questions about as well, is the bunk beds here in these cabins. So we did a full room tour of the cabins. If you want to take a look at that, you can go check it out. We go into every nook and cranny, but though we glanced at it, we didn't really dig into the bunk beds. And you know, if you are going to be staying in this room, you plan on using these bunk beds, it's really important to know what to expect. So I figured we could take a quick look at these now. Yes, look at me. I'm exhausted. It's been a day, but still, before we fully wrap things up, we got some business to attend to. So let's take a closer look at these beds. So here in the cabins, these are called one-bedroom cabins. The bunk beds are located in the bedroom. So on one end, we have the bedroom with the bunk beds and a bed. In between, or in the middle, I should say, we have the living room and kitchen area. And then on the opposite end, we have the bathrooms. Here's the door, so that leads into the living and kitchen area. And you'll notice right above the door, we have the air conditioning unit, and then we have the bunk beds right here. So there's a bunk on the bottom with some drawers underneath for storage, a bunk on the top, no storage up there, but it still has the light, which we can actually see down here if we sit in. Scoot on over here. So here's this light. It is on a switch. And then there is a USB charging port over here if you have a device that you're going to be plugging in. Both bunk beds have a pillow and a throw pillow. That one's a little wrinkly because we did use it yesterday, so bear with me. They also have this bedroll over here, and then this is what the bed itself looks like. I want to talk a little bit more about that, but first let's talk about how we get up on that top bunk. So to get up onto the top bunk, we have a metal ladder, which you can see right here. It does have nice wide places for you to put your foot, which is good. It's also super smooth, so you know, like I wouldn't be going up here with socks on. I would be a little concerned that I might slip trying to get back down. I don't know, maybe it's just my lack of coordination. It's just, you know, especially if you're with kids, you're traveling with kids, I think that's important to be aware of. So pretty standard bunk bed stuff. Oh, there's one more thing I want to point out, and that is up here, we do have a lot of headroom because the ceiling is angled, so it doesn't feel tight up here on the top bunk. And yes, we did go up there on the top bunk and give it a try. Plenty of space up there. I don't know if you can tell, but even for an adult, plenty of space. But the thing I want to focus on next is the actual bedding situation. So here on these bunks, we do have this right here, which looks kind of like a standard, I don't know, somewhat cheap quilt. You know, maybe something that you'd find at a motel or whatnot. And then we have this rolled up off to the side. Now, when I first saw this bed, I thought that this was like a blanket and that you would roll it out over this to have like an extra blanket or something like that, because I don't know, aesthetically it's kind of cute because it's like it's rolled up here like a sleeping bag. This is Fort Wilderness, so it's all outdoorsy, but that's not the case. So this bed does not have traditional bed linens on it. What you're seeing here, this brown thing, this is a fitted sheet, a mattress protector. There is nothing under here. In fact, I can show you right here, if we lift this up, see, just the mattress under there. And this, while it might look like it's a sheet, it is attached to this like fitted sheet quilt thing. So what are you sleeping on if you're sleeping in these bunks? This. You're sleeping on this. Now this, when unrolled, is actually a sleeping bag. So let me show you real quick. And unroll this like this. And there is a top side and a bottom side. So as you can kind of see, the top side opens like this, and then at some point it is connected together like that. If we kind of spread this out, you'll see we have a sleeping bag. You can turn down like this, and there are our bed linens for these bunk beds. Now, I'm gonna get in and show you what it looks like to get in bed here in this bunk. I will say, it's not what I expected. I thought that it would be like a standard bed, you know, but it's not. Now I'm 5'7", for the record, and if I pull this like this, see my tootsies are right there at the end. There is still plenty of room to cover me completely with this sleeping bag. So can you see my feet? Can you see them? They're in there. And up here, I can completely cover myself with this sleeping bag. So it is big enough to accommodate a full-size adult. Certainly a bigger full-size adult, there's plenty of room in this sleeping bag for someone who is much taller and honestly even bigger than I am. There's a lot of room in here in all areas. So that's nice. But I will say, if you aren't expecting a sleeping bag for whoever is planning on sleeping in these bunks, this might take you by surprise. I know it sure took us by surprise. Now, there are a few spare pillows in this room. There's at least one spare blanket. Of course, that's not necessarily going to be the case if you have someone sleeping on the pull-out bed that's in the living area, but you can always call down and make a request for more pillows and blankets. I will say that last night I did take the spare sleeping bag and I was cozying up with it out on the couch while we were watching some TV, and it was comfortable. It does the job keeping you warm, but not too warm, and I think that that's great. Though I do think that if you're expecting this to be a traditional sleeping arrangement, you might find yourself thrown off. So just be ready for that if you're going to be staying at the cabins and you plan on utilizing these bunk beds. Also, plenty of room in here as well under the top bunk. So that's nice. Lots of space in here. It is rather spacious. I know that bunk beds tend to be a little bit crowded and crammed. Definitely doesn't feel that way in this arrangement that they have here in the cabins. But I'd love to know what you have to say. Got some thoughts to share. Tell me what they are, especially if you have kids, teenagers who are sleeping in these bunks. Let me know what they have to say. It's really good to hear from them so that we know what to expect from our little ones, from our teens, from our friends who we share these rooms with, so that we can share that with others and everyone can prepare for the best trip ever. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have to say. Also, I'd love to know if this sleeping arrangement is a turnoff for you in any way, whether it's the fact that there are bunk beds in the bedroom, whether it's the fact that there's no traditional linens on these beds and that we're working with sleeping bags. Tell me all about it in a comment down below. I am so looking forward to hearing what all of you have to say, not only about this specific area of the cabins, but about the cabins in general. I will be eagerly awaiting your responses and opinions. Until then though, have a great rest of your evening or rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.